Roll call, Public Safety Committee meeting, May 17th. Andy Waltney.
Here.
Andrew Wilberton.
Here.
Walter Jones.
Here.
Jaleel Nelms.
Here.
And John Hart.
Here. Thank you, Mr. Burgett. So we have a quorum, so I'll first entertain a motion to dispense with the reading and approval of the minutes from the Public Safety Committee meeting on April 19th.
So
All those in
moved.
favor, sorry. Yeah. Councilor Nelms, is there a second?
Second.
Councilor Harden? Councilor Nelms, Councilor Harden. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it, 5-0. There are no items under old business. Moving to new business, we have one item, 010521, request to authorize improvements for striping and parking on Oxmoor Road, Randy Hamley Traffic Department. Everyone should have received this document today from Mr. Hamley. Mr. Hamley, do you want to come tell us a little bit about it real quick?
We were asked by OLS to look at the striping there along Oxmoor Road in front of their office. They have some on-street parking, and they were concerned about vehicles getting really close to their when they're getting out of the cars. So we had talked with them, and we had done a little bit of striping up there, and then they actually hired Clark with Kimley Horn to take a look at it, and he was able to draw up the whole area from the office there at OLS all the way down to Central. And with his drawing, we would actually gain 14 parking spaces there in front of the school and down on the end by Nabil's. And I believe OLS has agreed to split the cost 50-50 with us.
And what does that cost? I didn't see it in the email.
Clark figured the engineering cost to be around 10,000 total.
But the
So-
engineering costs are covered by OLS, correct?
Yeah.
Construction would be 10,000?
Yeah.
As well?
So we would pay 5,000, which I do have in my budget.
Okay, so Counselor Jones, would we need to refer this to finance if he's got it in his budget? I don't think we would, correct? Procedurally.
I don't think so. I mean, I think if we just make the motion that where it's coming from, he has it budgeted, I think that would be fine.
All right, thank you for clarifying. So, one question I did have was, I couldn't tell. So currently, those parking spaces, I see delineation showing parking spaces, but it looks like they're almost doubling out into the street to give a buffer. Mr. Bailey, how deep are those parking spaces today, or wide? And then how much beyond that would that white line be? And do we have this?
Directly in front of the office?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you
On
put
slide
that
one.
plan up?
That's what I was gonna ask. Do we have that,
Can we put up the plan?
Mr. Wallace?
I did not receive it.
It's slow coming down.
It's coming into your inbox now.
I have a bigger one if somebody wants to see it.
Sure, be great.
That's the
down.
part in front of the office. So, yeah, directly in front of the office, OLS had gone in and built kind of like a cutout so that they could pull off on the side of the road. But the thing that's occurring is that that lane is real wide and cars are kind of cutting the corner and driving right next to the curb, and so their concern was more when they're getting out then. And so it does have a bit of a buffer there now, because what we're doing is we're gonna push the cars up next to that center line in a dedicated lane that's 11 feet instead of the 19 feet that it is today. And so we have a little bit of, extra space there than you normally would, but that's just a bit of the nature of what it is because of the previous infrastructure. So there's about 8 feet between the edge line and those parking stalls.
Okay. All right. Sorry, committee. It's also on the projector now. Sorry, Councilor Jennings.
So does this affect the sidewalk at all?
No, it actually, it doesn't affect the sidewalk. The sidewalk's all there today. It's all striping, only striping work on the asphalt that's happening.
And this will just narrow the roadway.
It'll narrow the travel lane. The curb stays where it is. And if you, like the next slide down, you'll see like in front of the school today, because the wide lane is used, the entire thing is used for cars. And so sometimes cars wanna park there, and we've had instances where cars were parking on the sidewalk to get out of the 19-foot wide lane. Or actually, if we just draw it on the pavement, both can fit there. And so it should protect the sidewalk a little more.
Cause it is, that whole striping is always a little funky, I thought.
It's a little goofy, yeah. So this would kind of solidify it and then create a little more normal parallel parking in front of the deals.
Okay, and then we're not doing anything behind the school on Central.
No, this does not address anything over there.
Okay, I didn't know if they
Yeah.
wanted to look at that as well. That's traffic chaos in the.
Yeah, I think like their
Uh,
school pickup,
Yeah.
they park in my bike
It
lane.
should, yeah. So anyway, I didn't know if they had that scoped or we're gonna look at that at some point. That
They have not talked to me
definitely
about
something. Okay. Okay, so this is just on Oxmoor. Okay, that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Counselor Wolverton?
Yes. Hey, Clark. So my question mainly revolves around what you just alluded to, which is there is a bike lane on the other side of the road.
On Central.
On
Not
Central,
not
not on
Oxmoor.
Oxmoor. We're talking about Oxmoor.
This is
on
only,
Oxmoor.
this
This
is only on Oxmoor? I
only
thought I
on
saw
Oxmoor.
one of the pictures was on Central. This is only Oxmoor?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just Oxmoor.
Yeah, it's from Hong Kong Cleaners basically down to, or not Cleaners, Taylor.
Yeah, yeah.
down to the
Is it
intersection.
adding parking from the Beals?
It's adding on-street parking that's not in the deals.
It's the on-street parking that is,
They need some parking.
yeah, it's the on-street parking that's currently used as parking. I think it might have been striped many years
Yeah.
ago. I think we're just formalizing the striping, so I'm
Yeah,
not
and
sure.
it
that-
actually stretches it further than it goes today.
It's changing a little bit. I'm not sure we're really adding parking spaces through there, because they're already there. We're just formalizing it, I think. Did we have any discussions with Nabil's about, in your engineering, did you stop by and talk to them? Because I noticed the hatch lines look like they're pulling back past their planters where they currently have parking today.
Did not speak to them directly, but that's more of a case of we need the space to get the cars transitioned over for that left turn lane. So that's maintaining a 11-foot offset from, well, the center line and then the hatching for that left turn line.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of a substandard condition today.
So you're basically trying to maintain 11
Mhm.
feet from
Yeah.
the corner back.
But all
to-
those, I think there's, it may just be one, it could be two existing kind of quasi parking spaces that are lost with that hatching. They're made up,
Yeah.
of the street.
I think that's good, because one of the things that's annoying in Edgewood is, although this is parallel parking, the angle parking down there, often you get vehicles that either don't pull all the way in,
Mhm.
and then you're actually driving in the turn lane
Yeah,
coming through, but maybe we can fix that one day with our Edgewood intersection study.
But you're right, Clark, people park all the way up,
They do.
almost to the corner.
yeah.
And
And then,
there's no real space there, really. I mean,
yeah, and you don't have a curb there too, so then the sidewalk gets
Yeah, that'll make a difference.
on top of.
That'll be beneficial.
Who's gonna do the striping?
I guess it'd be Randy would
City?
hire someone, yeah. Well, it'd be a contractor.
Okay, I'm just trying to get the resolution.
Yeah.
OLS will pay 5,000 and we'll pay 5,000?
Right.
What if it's more?
We're just basing it off.
Yeah, the unfortunate,
That always work.
yeah, so we're,
I think it'll be under that.
yeah, it's a pretty high estimate right now,
So would
but
it be put equally divided between?
I think it should be a 50% cost share,
Okay.
maybe with a max.
Not to
Don't
exceed
need one.
$5,000 from the city.
Mr. Hardman tied a little extra, that's
So any councilor Nelms? Oh, I thought you were raising your hand, sorry. Any other questions from the committee? Or any other counselors?
We should have been paying for it.
All right, one last question I did have, was on drawing 2. Nope, I'm sorry. Let me get back to drawing 1. Bear with me, I don't have my glasses on today. There it is. Down here at the intersection of Ridge is the hatching that is actually, there's a car currently there, but I believe they're in the driving lane. I doesn't have it up. Is the hatching on the other side, the north side of Oxmoor, is that there for protection of the crosswalk or for the turn off of Ridge onto Oxmoor? It just looks like we're missing the opportunity for at least a parking spot in there.
Yeah, so we wanna keep cars from parking in the intersection, and then also
30 feet each way.
approximately 50 feet just for sight distance issues.
Okay.
So if you're coming off a ridge and turning on, say, left onto Oxmoor.
Yeah.
We're not gonna let people park right
Yeah,
there.
there won't be any cars in the intersection and then, or in the immediate vicinity next to it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's the same case, yeah, the same case around the, crosswalks. Cause you want to be able to see the person begins
Yes,
to walk out there.
Especially on a curve.
Yes, especially on a curve.
Okay, any other questions? Seeing no further questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we accept this with a 50% cost share between us and OLS,
Not to exceed $5,000.
not to exceed $5,000.
Okay, so we have a motion on the table to share the cost 50% with OLS for these road improvements, not to exceed $5,000 from city funds, from traffic engineering funds that are currently allocated. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second,
Would
Councilor
there be any
Park.
opposition to say that the project will not exceed the sum of $10,000?
Rather than our share being 5,000, the total cost
Sure.
being 10.
Yeah.
That's better, I see where you're going at.
Okay.
Okay.
So, an amended motion to not to exceed $10,000 at a 50% share, is that correct? Okay. All right, so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. This item passes 5-0.
Mr. Walton, you get the second.
The second was Counselor Harden.
Okay, thank you.
So Counselor Nelms and Counselor Harden. All right, there are no other items on the public
Counselor
safety.
Walton,
Okay.
would you mind entertaining, taking 170620 off the
Absolutely.
table, just so I can give you an update?
Is there a motion to take 170620 off the table?
I make a motion to take 170620 off the table.
Okay, motion by Counselor Harden, second by Counselor Wolverton. Counselor Jones, did you have a comment?
No.
Okay, you were gonna second. All right, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it, 5-0. 170620 is off the table.
All right, thank you, sir.
Sir.
Just wanted to kind of give you guys an update. I know, public safety wasn't called at the last committee meeting, so I didn't have a chance to kind of go over this with you, but, the task force has met, 3 separate times, twice for about an hour and a half, and then the third time for 2 hours, to go over the use of force policy. I thought it was a fantastic meeting. I know Counselor Sims, you were at all 3. You're partially at 1, but you were at the other 2 for the full time. I think some wonderful recommendations have come out of the task force. It was actually unanimously approved at the last meeting to go to, those recommendations to go to the police department, and then once their senior staff has had a chance to look over it, then the chief and I will get together and then bring it back to this committee to give you guys an update on what recommendations have been implemented based off of those meetings. And I wanted to also tell you that there were other recommendations that were made that were somewhat out of the scope of the use of force policy itself. But I actually have 2 meetings with 2 separate groups, both dealing with mental health that I've talked with the chief about. One of them is actually tomorrow, and another one is a meeting with Jim Kriego next Wednesday, I think. So all of those meetings will be taken part, and that's really more towards the training aspect. Not, like I said, it's not really with the use of force policy, but those were things that were brought up as concerns. And so all of those meetings will be happening in the next 2 weeks. So just wanted to let you guys know. I'll bring you something back as soon as the chief goes over it with the department and then brings it back to me, and we implement what we need.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank
Brian.
you
I think
for the update, and we'll carry this item over.
That's an important thing.
All right, so there are no further items on the public safety agenda, and we are adjourned.